Hi guys, and welcome to Odds Bundesliga, 13th match day. We don't stop. We had an exciting weekend, and now more games coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday. So let's analyze everything with you, Radek. How are you?
Hey, Eduardo. Good as always. Looking forward for game day 30.
And also with you guys, so leave a comment in the video. You have the chance to win a 10-pound free bet with Novibet. And since this is a live video, also ask any question to Radek or tell us your opinion about the games. And of course, click the like button. If you enjoy our video, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell to get all the notifications. So Radek, let's start with the games we have on Tuesday. We have Cologne, Leipzig. I think we all thought that Leipzig was going to beat Hoffenheim on Friday, but they did not. Goalless draw, now 7 points away from Bayern, so the title race is again over. And Cologne, they lost 3-0 with Bayer Leverkusen. Now 3 straight defeats, no victories in the last game, so things are not going well for Cologne. And Leipzig are very good actually on the road. They are very good playing away from home.
Yeah, I'm really a bit sorry for Cologne because I said it in the last video. I expect them to lose against Leverkusen, and they did. And now I expect them to lose again against Leipzig, obviously. I don't think it was a good decision for them to change the coach in this decisive situation in the season, because Gistol was doing a good job, and I think it's really hard to find a better one. And Friedhelm Funkel was retired. He's very old, so it's the question if he can make a positive change for Cologne, and I doubt that. Now, after 3 losses in a row, there is almost impossible game to win for Cologne. On the other hand, we have odds of 1.46 on Leipzig, and I always say I don't like these favorites odds because we have to look what is the motivation for Leipzig here. They have 7 points to Bayern Munich, which is completely over, and they won't be champion again. And the third position is too far away. They're also safe in spot 2, I think. So, yeah, they're not really, they don't have to win this game. So Cologne has to win this game more. So it's dangerous anyway, but I think it's a close win for Leipzig. Maybe 2-1, but we don't get any good odds for that. So I don't bet on this game.
All right, last 5 away games in the Bundesliga for Leipzig were victories. So again, they are behaving better on the road than at home. Then we have a relegation battle game, Arminia Bielefeld Schalke, not for Schalke because they are already in Bundesliga 2. They lost again against Freiburg, being thrashed 4-0. But yes, for Bielefeld, they are still picking up points and points. They drew with Augsburg after beating Freiburg, so they are not in a bad run actually in the last 5 games, only 1 defeat against Leipzig. So that's why the odds are so low for the Arminia Bielefeld victory here.
Yeah, but you can also look at this. They only won 1 out of the last 4 games against Freiburg, 1-0, 0-0 against Augsburg, 1-1 against Mainz, 0-1 against Leipzig. They scored only 2 goals in 4 games, so that is not very impressive for Bielefeld as well. But at least, yeah, they concede less goals. And what can you say about Schalke? Doesn't matter because we get really bad odds of 1.8 on a weak team like Bielefeld. So this is even against Schalke, it's too low, and that Schalke is able to make any goal or point they proved in some games. So I won't say they are completely the underdog here. I think it's a kind of balanced. The best thing here to bet on is a draw with 3.8 because we get huge odds for kind of equal realistic situation. It's, I think, in my opinion, as realistic for a draw as a Bielefeld win, so we can put the Schalke win away. But nevertheless, it's unpredictable, like our commentator says. And yeah, I won't bet on Bielefeld, but a draw is likely and good odds. But I also won't bet in this game anyway, because yeah, nothing to win here and a lot to lose. So think about twice where you put your money on, and this is another game I really don't want to be involved emotionally or with my money.
Let's see if you are involved emotionally or with your money in the Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen. Here the odds, of course, very low for Bayern Munich, 1.46. After Flick surprising us, or at least me, saying that he will lift Bayern Munich, probably with another title for the Bundesliga. They got a massive victory against Wolfsburg with Musiala scoring 2. Actually, and Leverkusen, they are getting better in the last 3 games, 2 victories, 1 draw. It's true that they played against very weak teams, but at least they are again picking points and they are in the fight for the European spots.
Yeah, and no loss under the new coach Hannes Wolf for 3 games, I think, now. And Leverkusen is getting better, but still not that good as they were in the first round of the season, where they were leading this Bundesliga standings for some time, or at least one game day. And this is a kind of interesting thing, because Hansi Flick said he doesn't want to be coach of Bayern Munich next season, which is a huge shock for everyone around Bayern Munich. And I think this is I can understand it somehow, because he reached everything. He won 6 titles in one season. He won the Champions League. What else do he wants to win with Bayern Munich? So maybe for him it's a good decision to get back to the German national DFB and be coach of Germany, where he was assistant coach of Joachim Löw years ago. But for Bayern Munich, this is a kind of critical situation. They're missing Robert Lewandowski at the end of the season. They have 7 points advantage before Leipzig. They missed the Champions League now. They could lack some motivation in this game against Leverkusen. And then the odds on Bayern Munich with 1.44 are really bad. And I think... this can be a draw because Leverkusen is getting better in the last games. I really like draws, because they are always good odds and making sense compared to the risk. For sure, you have smaller chances maybe to hit the draw in this game, and obviously, the bookmakers think Bayern Munich will win the game, and there are a lot of interesting points for Bayern Munich. And I don't think Leverkusen is poor, and under Hannes Wolf they improved. So it's a question of odds. You have more to lose again with small odds as you can win with big odds, and that's why here, let's go for a draw, because I think Bayern Munich is struggling, and that they won against Wolfsburg was good, but in this game I think Leverkusen can at least take 1 point, maybe even beat Bayern Munich. For someone who is also very doubtful about Bayern Munich, should maybe put a small amount on this odds of 8.0 on Leverkusen, but not risk too much. It's always about your bankroll. I prefer to bet always 1 unit at each bet. And if you have high odds where you can win multiple 8, you have to risk only 1/8 of your unit. So if your unit is 10 euro, just put €1 25 around on a Leverkusen win, and on a draw would be about €2 or something like that. Always bet according to your bankroll.
Well, Union Berlin was able to get a point, for instance, in the last trip to Munich. So maybe also Leverkusen can do the same. And the odds, again, are very good. Then the next game we have on Tuesday is Eintracht Frankfurt Augsburg. We said that the game against Gladbach was a tricky one for Frankfurt, but they were thrashed 4-0, the worst defeat in the season. Now they have 4 points difference with the fifth. And the fifth is Borussia Dortmund, and they are winning. So they have to win for sure a team like Augsburg, that they are not good actually. They have 7 points distance with the playoff for relegation, so they will stay in the Bundesliga. But their last results were a draw with Arminia Bielefeld, a defeat with Schalke. So I guess we should expect a comfortable victory for Frankfurt here.
Should be, yeah, of course. But thinking about the last game against Gladbach, it's not that clear. Anyway, Frankfurt, maybe they are getting into trouble now because they fear Dortmund behind them. Frankfurt is fourth with 53 points, 4 points before Borussia Dortmund with 49 points. So maybe that their coach announced that he's leaving and he won't play Champions League next year anyway with Frankfurt because he is going to Borussia Mönchengladbach. This can lead to Frankfurt missing the Champions League in the last 5 games, and Dortmund is getting back. And that's why, this game is so important for Frankfurt at home to win against a really weak Augsburg. We get odds of 1.5, which I really don't like at all. I don't think that Frankfurt is really back again after this thrash against Gladbach. You can't trust them. Even against Augsburg, and that's why hands off Frankfurt. And if the odds on the favorite are under 2.0, they are likely to be very bad, and they're not getting better if you bet on Asian handicap minus 1.5. And for sure, Frankfurt has one of the best strikers in the league with Silva and Jovic and Kostic on the side. For sure they can win against Augsburg, but after this game against Gladbach and the announcement of Adi Hütter leaving them, I really won't trust them too much in this game.
Would you touch the over-under market in these games that we don't have a clear bet, or not really? Like in this one, for instance, Augsburg, they are not scoring. Frankfurt have very good strikers.
I will never bet on over because you always get low odds on over 2.5. The only thing to consider betting against the market or the common sense, because everyone watches football to watch goals, and that's why everyone is most cases betting on over goals. And because the majority of the players are losing money, it's always better to bet against that what everyone is thinking. And that's why I won't bet on over here, but anyway I won't bet on under as well here, so you never know.
Actually, also our audience is, they think in both ways. And Vano says that Frankfurt look affected by the news of the coach, so he's not touching the game, whereas George trusts Frankfurt with Asian handicap minus 1.5. He says win-win.
Too risky.
Then let's move on. On Wednesday, we were supposed to have Hertha Freiburg, but the next 3 games for Hertha have been postponed because of COVID outbreak. So let's move on. We have Borussia Dortmund, Union Berlin, and we were talking before about Borussia Dortmund winning and getting closer to Frankfurt, and they won as we expected. They thrashed Werder Bremen. The good news also, Haaland scoring a brace. But Union Berlin is a dangerous team. They are not in their best for sure, but we saw them getting a point from Bayern Munich, for instance, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and they beat Borussia Dortmund in the first game in the season at Berlin with 2-1. And this was a really big surprise. And that was the beginning of the end of Lucien Favre as coach of Dortmund. And now they had 3 really tough games in a row and they didn't lose. They won against Stuttgart, they pointed against Bayern Munich, and they draw against Hertha in the Berlin derby. So yeah, Berlin is always good for at least 1 point, as we saw in the first game against Dortmund. And that's why, you always have to be aware of them. But as we see, Haaland is scoring every game at least twice, maybe in this game as well. One thing here, in this game, I would say there will be a lot of goals. If you bet on over goals, the only option could be over 3.5 goals because you get higher odds. And always look around where you find at least odds of 2.0, because it's very hard to get back on losses if you only win 0.5 or something for games. And in this game, it would be the same. If you bet on Borussia Dortmund, you only get 1.56. That's too less money. So too much risk against Union Berlin and too less to win. On the other hand, is it maybe a chance to get on an Asian handicap on Union Berlin? You definitely can consider this with Asian handicap +1 would be 2.04. This is for sure an option. You never know. Borussia Dortmund is too unpredictable.
It is.
Yeah.
Well,
Haaland for sure will leave Borussia Dortmund after this year because his manager is Mino Raiola, and Mino Raiola, you know him as a Spaniard. He's always into trading his players every year because he always getting a lot of money for that. And so I bet on it that Haaland is leaving to a Spain club or maybe an English club for sure, because Borussia Dortmund has huge financial problems because of the Corona crisis. They are losing about 4 million euro each game. They cannot play in front of their audience in their stadium. So they have huge losses, and they maybe miss the Champions League, which would be a disaster for them. And that's why, for sure, they must win against Union Berlin. But I don't know if they are really in this good situation. And Haaland, for sure, will. They have to sell him because they will get 100 millions or maybe even 50 millions, and they need the money. So impossible for them not to accept a huge offer like that. And everyone wants to have Haaland, so they are betting at least 100 millions, I think. And so you have to be insane not to sell him.
Well, since Mino Raiola started to travel around Europe, actually offering Haaland, he didn't score until last weekend. He was like 5-6 games without scoring. So what he needs to do probably is focus on his team, and it will be a huge blow, as you said, if Borussia Dortmund are not qualified for the next Champions League edition. Also a shame, I think, for all football fans. It's a giant of Europe. And then we have Hoffenheim, Gladbach, and maybe this time, Radek, you like the odds for Gladbach, 2.31 after what we saw against Frankfurt. And this is another of the teams, probably like Leverkusen, that they were totally a disaster for a couple of months. And since they are out of the Champions League, 3 victories, 1 draw, 11 goals scored, so they are a bit better. And Hoffenheim, they've been a very disappointing team all along the season, even if they got a point, which is a very good result against Leipzig.
Yeah, but Gladbach was really impressive. Jonas Hoffmann is doing a great job, and they have a great team. Everyone knows that because they have been played against Real Madrid and Inter Milan in the Champions League really good. But then their coach decided to leave them, which break them a bit down. But I think now they really back on track after this great win against Frankfurt. And on the other hand, we have Hoffenheim struggling and doing a really bad job because their ambitions should be playing at least in the Europe League, and now they are somewhere in between 10 and 14 in the standings, so way behind the ambitions. And yeah, for sure, these odds on Gladbach with 2.27 look really attractive. If you trust Gladbach after this Frankfurt win, you can bet on this 2.3. I don't like it too much because, Hoffenheim made a point against Leipzig, which is also not a bad result. And on the other hand, Gladbach should win this game to keep their last chances to getting into the international spots.
George and Envano like the draw. Actually, they are both saying that away from home, Gladbach is not that easy to trust. And again, they are 7th in the standings, so only 4 points away from Europe. Gladbach still have a chance to go to European competitions, for sure not the Champions League, and probably Wolfsburg will go to the Champions League, but be careful, they only have 5 points distance with Borussia Dortmund, so they cannot be relaxed after, again, losing against Bayern Munich. Now they face Stuttgart, which is not an easy ground. Stuttgart lost 2-1 with Union Berlin, back-to-back defeats before they lost also with Dortmund. What do we say here, actually? The Stuttgart, the whole season, they've been bad at home. Now they are a little bit better.
And they lost 2 games in a row. And I would think also Wolfsburg lost 2 games in a row, but Wolfsburg scored 2 games against Bayern Munich, scored 3 games against Frankfurt. They had to play against top teams of the league, maybe 2 Champions League teams next year. And on the other hand, we have Stuttgart, who lost against Union Berlin, and Dortmund with less quality in their teams. And that leads me to Wolfsburg is the favorite in this game. If I would have to make the odds, I would say Wolfsburg has odds of around 1.7, 1.8, which would be fair. But we have the luck in this game to get higher odds on the favorites here. And that's a situation where I like to bet on favorites because the odds are over 2.0 for the favorite. The favorite is clear the better team. No matter what Stuttgart did in some games, they are in the standings on position 10. They are newly relegated, and they are always the underdog. They did a great job, but in this game, Wolfsburg has to prove their Champions League ambitions. And I think they at least draw in this game, but it's more likely that they win 50% of the games in this situation against Stuttgart, and then we get value in this odd. And that's why I like this.
It's true what George is saying, that Stuttgart is a bit unpredictable, but they are a newly promoted team, so they are doing actually a great job this season, being closer to the European positions than to the relegation zone. Getting closer to the relegation zone is Werder Bremen. It looks like last season when they had to play the playoff to stay in the Bundesliga. They are a little bit shaky now, thrashed by Borussia Dortmund. Last 5 Bundesliga games were defeats. And now they face a team like Mainz that they are in their league. Actually, if Mainz wins, they go up in the table. They rest in the weekend because they had a game against Hertha that was postponed. And the last game was a victory against Cologne. The thing, Radek, we spoke a lot about Mainz. Is one of the best teams in the Bundesliga right now. So this could lead also to an away victory.
Whoa, yeah. Interesting bet of Varnum Gum over 3 at the game of Stuttgart versus Wolfsburg. I really like this bet, and for 2.15 it's an awesome bet because, yeah, we know both teams can score a lot. So this is a situation where over is a good situation. And this game between Bremen and Mainz, yeah, obviously it's a clear 1-1 draw. Interesting thing, the first game in the season was won by Bremen 1-0 because Bremen was doing a good job around year change and Mainz was struggling. But then in this year, 2021, Mainz was getting better and better. And after the last results, I also would say that I think Mainz is a bit better, but now Mainz had 1 week rest because their game against Hertha was postponed because of the coronavirus infections of Hertha. So maybe Mainz lacks the game practice, and this could be a bit of advantage for Bremen here. That's why, yeah, I think it's a clear 1-1. Maybe bet on result 1-1, or even in this situation under 2.5 goals, or directly on a draw. The 3 options which I like in this game. What I always like, if you have 2 teams who playing against relegation, that I think there will be less goals and draws, as we have seen at Bielefeld against Augsburg last week, and maybe this can be in a kind of same situation, but yeah, I like the draw here.
We have odds 6.75 for the exact score, 1-1, and George is asking you, Radek, if he can bet on Mainz Asian handicap minus 1.5. I guess your answer will
sure
be
you
no.
can, but I won't because you know, is Mainz that far better than Bremen? Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's in any situation, it's always a close game with Mainz, and they're never huge favorite, and that's why 2 goals in advantage for them in away games. I really think this is a way too dangerous, but it always depends on how much you're betting. If you're betting €1 and you can bet on everything. If you're betting €1,000, I won't do that.
Then, Radek, we have all the games. Maybe we can put a small ACCA, as we always do.
I think Leipzig is going to win. The favorite odd on Leipzig with 1.46 around, or 4.5 is good enough to bet on. I really like Asian Handicap 0 on Gladbach and Wolfsburg, because I think they are the better teams in their games. Gladbach against Hoffenheim, they shouldn't lose this game because they want to get into international spots after the big win against Frankfurt. I think they won't lose against Hoffenheim now. And on the other hand, same situation, Wolfsburg has to get to the Champions League and is the better team against Wolfsburg. So combining these 3 favorites, Leipzig win, Asian Handicap 0 on Gladbach and Wolfsburg, you get ACCA with 3 games. My alternative bet would be a double bet with 2 most likely draws on Bremen and Mainz. And the other draw can be between Bielefeld and Schalke. And you get odds of around 10 with these two draws. And the beautiful thing is you have to only win every 10th bet. If you always combine two draws each game day, you will be making profit if you win every 10 or 9th double bet. And so betting is a long run and marathon. So that's that I like more than betting on so-called favorite eckers.
Perfect. Then to finish, Red Room is asking us about the Superliga project. You said that gambling, of course, is about making money. Probably the Superliga project is the same. Well, I don't like it, to be honest. So I hope the football stays as it is. But money counts.
But maybe in the year 1992, when the Champions League was established instead of the cup competition of the champions, everyone was saying, oh, it's not attractive to see the second, the third, and the fourth of the league playing against each other. And the Champions League was really the best idea the UEFA came up with. So yeah, maybe getting back to a league where only the best are playing against each other would be I think not a bad thing, but I think the good teams and the good players have already too much games, and I think that the club, it's not really interesting for the clubs traveling around Europe and playing a lot games around Europe and not focusing on their home market. Because I think the audience is also in the Bundesliga loving the games in Germany. We don't have problems with the audience in Germany. So for the German teams, I don't think it's a good idea, the Superliga. But in other countries, it would be a kind of a good situation, like Italy, where you have a lack of audience, or maybe even smaller countries. For them it would be great to see great teams more often in their stadiums, like Barcelona, Manchester, or something like that. But yeah, on the other hand, there were so many bad games in the Champions League group stage this year between Lens, or I even don't remember the names, Krasnodar or something like that. And yeah, always points for against.
Yeah, how great is seeing surprises like Atalanta, like Red Room is saying, or like Leipzig arriving to the last stages of the Champions League. Now this will be gone. But well, this is
we need to change the Champions League, I think.
We will see. Florentino knows what he does for sure, so let's trust that he is making a positive thing for the football and not only for Real Madrid. Then Radek, on Thursday we have a new video because we have more Bundesliga games in the weekend. Guys, remember, if you enjoyed our video, press on the like button, important for us, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell to get all the notifications. Also leave a comment in the video and you still have a chance to win a £10 free bet with Novibet, always very useful. And if you prefer to listen to our videos, we have a podcast for you. So then Radek, thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. It was a pleasure. See you next